opportunity that I had for an interview was just one, and then I got this job, and I got this job without an interview. Yeah, that is why I said this story is worth sharing. Just hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marianne. For those who do not know, if you're new to my channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for sticking by and watching my videos. If this is your first video of me that you're about to watch, then I think you did yourself the right thing, because after this I know you want to go down and watch other videos. Please do not forget to subscribe. That's like the most important stuff for me right now. Please subscribe, like, share my videos. Yeah, share, please share with those who need it. If it doesn't make any sense to you, please share to those who your circle that needs these messages. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. So without wasting your time, in this video I'm going to tell you guys how I got my job in Canada, in a new country, with no Canadian experience, in less than 2 months. Yeah, I came in September and I got the job November 7th. So that's like less than 2 months, obviously. Yeah. So the reason why I decided to share this story is because I didn't get the job in like the professional way of go through a job site or go through different jobs agencies. You know, I got the job via sending a manager an email, a professional email, obviously. And this is something that I feel like it's not really common, because when we come into a foreign country, like I had this mindset that, oh, is it not improper for me to send a message to the manager's email? In this case, she was a female. You know, I felt like, oh, it's not like bridging confidentiality, sharing a manager's email address. I just had that fear, especially maybe as a nursing student, and everything I was just hearing was confidentiality. So I had this email like the first week that I came into Canada, but I'm like, no, I cannot. I just can't. And then I tried and I started looking for a job. We all know what's going on in the world right now, not just Canada or any other country that you find yourself. We know how difficult it is in every part of the world right now. Inflation, you know, high cost of living. You know, the only thing that is not going up right now is income. You know, unfortunately, income is what's not going on. People are cutting down on their staffing. You know, there's just so much going on right now. So getting employed is a big deal. Like, it's even the menial job, like what people call menial jobs, or what do they call those jobs, like survivor jobs. Yeah, I think that's a better word, survivor job, or even those who call it minimum wage jobs. You fight to get them now as if it's your dream job you're fighting for. So that is really how difficult it was. So I stayed for 1 month. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to try. I did different CVs. Like, I did all those CV, one for housekeeping, one for customer care, one for caregiving, you know, one for patient support worker, I was just all over the place. And then I started applying, and you know, it wasn't working. The only opportunity that I had for an interview was just one, and then I got this job, and I got this job without an interview. Yeah, so that is why I said this story is worth sharing, just to encourage you and to tell you that, oh, don't follow everything that your head tells you sometimes. Oh, you're breaching confidentiality. What if you're not? What if that is what will give you what you're looking for? What if that is what you could turn your life around, you know? So what happened was that I tried my best. I finally got an opportunity to go for an interview, and then it was in a bookstore. I don't read. I'm not proud of that. I encourage people to read. I'm building my children in ways where they study and read novels right now, because I feel like it just helps you somehow. It helps you to just navigate life. Reading is very good. So I wasn't really reading, and I already knew that questions would come out from, oh, what kind of books do you read, you know? But I'm like, hey, I'd rather go for that interview just to break this yoke of not getting employed, not getting called, you know? I was like, I must go. No matter what, I have to go for that interview. And then I found myself there. So I didn't get it, and I picked up lots of things from that interview. The answers the other people gave, how confident they were. So that was like my own lesson for that interview that I went, and that's like my last interview. And as it's going, it's like it's going to be the last. I'm a nurse. Don't mind me, guys. So I finally came back home. I'm like, hey, I need to do something. I need a job. I finally decided to send this woman a message. That was even, I still was procrastinating because I was not comfortable. I remember contacting one of my friends that is working with an agent with a company as a customer care. I told her, hey, can you refer me? Because referral is another very important aspect of getting a job in a foreign country. They really do value referrals. So if you have someone working somewhere, ask them to refer you. You have a higher tendency to get that job than someone who just went through the job site. Yeah, because they kind of have this trust that, oh, this person works with us, this person is doing well, and the person is referring you, meaning that the person also kind of trusts you to be able to handle that job. So somehow they work based on trust building here. So I told her, oh, refer me, please, and she did. But she was working as a bilingual, French and English, because this province where I stay is French and English, customer care. So I got the email, hey, you've been referred by so and so person, but it said the position was for a bilingual position. I'm like, babe, this can't work for me. It's bilingual. I don't speak French. She was like, just apply. You never know. But somehow I was like, no, this is too much. I feel like it's false information. If it was something like all of us have this thing we put in our CVs that we never did, right? But language, no, I just felt like language was too much. I was like, no way, I can't say language. What if the person starts, hello, bonjour, comment ça va? And I'm just staring. So I was like, no way, I couldn't apply. So when I saw that, I sent her a message that, oh, I don't think I'll be able to apply. It's bilingual. So she was like, have you even sent a message to the woman, that the manager of the position, like the manager in charge of the relief team, like the part where I want to work, not like the manager of the whole hospital. Of course, the person might not have the time, the director of the entire hospital, right? So this particular manager was like the manager of the like PCAs and the float team. I don't really know how to put it. She's a manager of somewhere, so let's just keep it at that. So I told her yes, that I had sent, because I felt like, oh, if you say you haven't sent, that means you're not even serious. I'm like, and I had to speak to myself, Miriam, what is wrong with you? You need a job, for crying out loud. So what are you waiting for? And that night, that was a Friday, I would never forget. Friday, almost midnight. It was almost 12 a.m. And then I said, hey, instead of not sending this message today, because I have told this girl that I have sent it, I just have to do it, because I'm someone who kind of work with my conscience. I was feeling like, oh, you just lied, So I'm like, no, I have to really send that message. And I typed the message. Now, the reason why I'm saying this story is because I've said it before. A lot of us come into this country and we feel like, oh, we have to go through job sites. My dear, if someone gives you the email address of a manager, sell yourself to that manager. You might just be lucky. That was the condition that I found myself. I sent a professional message to a manager selling myself. It was more like a cover letter, but this particular cover letter, it was like a statement of purpose, because I wrote everything. I really wish I have the letter right here to read it out to you guys. What I'll do is maybe cover up some personal information and attach it, just for you to kind of have an idea of how you're supposed to sell yourself, because this woman knows me from nowhere, and she is probably whiter than this board that I have at my back. She is pure white, and she knows me from nowhere. My name is Miri and Chinwendu Osuji. I can't change it, so it's even written there. So there's nothing like, oh, she just accepted my application because of the mercy of God in my life and the way that I sold myself. God must always take the glory in my life, because I am Christian. I believe so much in God, and I know that He had a role to play in this. Why I mention God, so people say, oh, she has come, they don't come, Africans and God. My dear, if I tell you the story, it was difficult, and you will know why I always call God, because sent this message to her, I sold myself, told her how I have, how I know about this position, what I have done in my home country. Of course, I just came into Canada. It was just 1 month, so there was no way I could put an experience that I don't even have. I don't even know any place. I don't only know my house to school. So which office would I say I have done? The only thing I wrote was that, okay, I have done 1 or 2 clinicals. I think at that time we had gone to the hospital once or twice just for a clinical position. So I wrote out everything that I have done and then put like 2 places that I had an experience with in Nigeria. I put it out there and explain to her. And part of the letter I will try to find and read out. I told you guys I'll attach it to this description box. I talked about how I sold myself, and I told her that she should give me the opportunity to see that everything that I say about myself is real. And I would want her, if there's even anything like probation, she can put me there for some weeks just to monitor me and monitor the way I work. And if she's not comfortable with that, she can, probably, lay me off or ask me to go. And I sent this email that night. It was around 12. I prayed and I sent. And when this email left, I wasn't expecting a reply on Saturday, obviously, because it's the weekend. I wasn't expecting a reply on Sunday. And here comes Monday. As an international student paying so much tuition, I didn't have rest of mind when I got into Canada, because obviously 3 months was going to elapse and I had thousands again to pay off. And then I was converting the money I came with from Nigeria. So I was practically not myself in the first few months that I came into this country. I just had that worry. So that Monday, I was practically not in that class. I was just like, God, please, I need this email to come in. Just the way I was when I was waiting for my visa approval. That was just the same way that I was feeling. I need this email to come in. I need this email to come in. And the email came in and she said, I will have them offer you a PCA2 position. Guys, this PCA2 position is the highest position for a patient support worker. There is PCA1, and PCA1 is, probably like a lower, you don't go around to attend to all kinds of patients. You only sit with patients that maybe that are demented, or patients that are confused at the moment, or patients that have different kind of tubes that they might want to pull off, or pull out. But for a PCA2 position, that was like the highest position. And this particular position, let me go into the story now. This is now where the struggle began. When I saw that, I sent her back a message. This is one important aspect. I sent her back a thank you message. I'm like, thank you so much, so. And so I mentioned her name. And I'm like, I remain eternally grateful for this kindness that you have showed onto me. And I felt like that message touched that woman. She said, I'm going to have them offer you a PCA2 position. You should probably get an email from the person in charge of student hire. And she mentioned the person's name and said the person was going to contact you. And a few days later, I got a message from that person, and the person said, hi, I would like us to schedule a meeting to, discuss about a position with us at this so place where I work right now. And I called everybody, hey, I don't get work. Or not, when I say everybody, I don't mean this. I don't mean social media people. Called my husband, called my siblings, my sister-in-laws. I'm like, hey, God has shown me favor. I found a job. The woman replied. She said she was going to offer me a PCA2 position, and the person that was supposed to contact me have sent me a message. And that was where my struggle started. I waited for this message and waited for this message. It never came. I kept sending her a reminder, because I know this doesn't happen in places like this. If it was in my country, I can understand that they can tell you have something and it won't happen and nobody will get back to you. So I was worried. What's going on? Why is she not replying me? She said this week, it was almost Thursday, and there was no way. If you're going to have a meeting this week and it's going to be online, you should have gotten your team's invites like maybe on Monday, and that meeting might be on Friday. But it wasn't like that in my case. So I was like, oh, what's going on here, And then I kept sending messages and she never replied any. And then I got a message from my school that particular hospital, the person in charge of student hire, was coming over to my school, to talk about employment. I'm like, oh, maybe that's why she did not want to reply my message. That wasn't why, actually. I got there, I met her, the same name. I met, hi, my name is Marianne, and I've been expecting an email from you all this while, about the employment opportunity that we talked about. And she was like, oh, okay. She said, can you fill up this form? So when I filled up the form, she looked at the email address. She was like, oh, okay, I think I've been seeing, the email looks familiar. Okay, we can just have the meeting here. I'm like, oh, okay. And I had like, it wasn't, I think it was like one after the other, and then I had already heard from the previous people she had spoken to that were in my class. They were like, no, she said they're not taking anybody in year one right now. You have to be in year two. You have to be going into year two, because for you to work as a PCA2, you either have to have a first year, you either have to be done with your first year nursing of a 2 years program, or you have the PCA certificate. And that was, I got in there hoping that was not going to be my case, because I already have like a confirmation from the manager, right? That wasn't it. When I got there, she told me, no way, you cannot get this position. You just have to be like other students. You're going to start in August. That's this August that just finished. You're going to start in August 2024. This was 2023, remember? And I'm like, wow. Now I got really confused because I didn't know what to do. And I told her, okay, so is there like anything I can do, because I have the experience? She was like, oh, if you have the experience, you might have to, work in home care, but for this hospital, you have to have that letter. So I'm like, okay. I left confused. I have never been more confused in my life like that day. I cried there. I called my husband and I was crying. My husband was confused. And I had a presentation the next 2 days or so. My husband was like, oh, maybe you should contact the manager back and probably ask her to put you in PCA1 position because of the response that this woman gave, Something in me, I just wasn't ready for a negative answer. Unlike me, because I'm always like built for whatever. But that day, I'm like, no, I have a presentation. I can't have 2-0. At least if I don't have a job, let me not also fail schoolwork. So that I at least 1/2, not 0/2. Haba. So I was like, no, because I know that if I get a reply and it's a no, or she doesn't even reply, that presentation won't go well. So I told my husband, no, I have to focus on school right now. And maybe after my school, I'm done with my presentation, I can send her an email and all of that. My husband said, okay. So the reason why I mentioned God a lot was this is my own experience. I really don't know about every other person. I am very, very spiritual and I believe so much in God. I felt like he already had a hand in this. So I went back to my bed, confused on that particular day. I cried, cleaned my eyes, cried, cleaned my eyes, cried, cleaned my eyes. And then in the process, I just heard a voice that told me, be still, be still, be still, 3 times. It might sound like film trick to anybody, but this was what happened. And then when I heard be still, be still, be still, I'm one person that when I'm going through pain, you really don't know, because I don't put it out on social media, but I post every day. So on that day, when I heard that be still at that night, I just became calm. My spirit just calmed down. I really don't know. This is my experience, believe it or not. And then I became calm. I started praising God, and then I wrote on my status, be still and know that I am God. And that was it. I slept, woke up, went for my presentation the next day, did my presentation, was so happy because obviously I did really well, and when I got home, I called my husband. I'm like, hey, you needed to see your wife today if you see my presentation. And my husband was like, oh, that's good. And I was just about entering the door and I got a message, include this one, include this one. I checked the message. I'm like, hey, would like to have a meeting with you. I say, these people have come again. Would like to have a meeting with you. And I'm like, really? And then I called my husband immediately. Can you imagine? These people have started sending me all these messages again. This time I'm not going to be too excited because of what I went through already. And my husband was like, okay, just reply them, give them your schedule, let them know when you'll be available. And the same woman that sent me a message to say that it's only year 1, you have to finish year 1 nursing, or you have PCA2 certificate, but a PSW certificate. The same her. I wish I can put everything up here. sent me message saying, "Hey Marianne, I am so sorry. I didn't know that the manager already accepted you." The same woman. Sorry. Unqualified. You're telling somebody that's unqualified, sorry. Can you please send your schedule? I am really sorry. Guys, what else can you call this? I know that this was grace, but the reason why I'm sharing this video is probably to share my testimony and join this, and also to let you know that sometimes you don't have to really go through job links. You don't really have to do that. Any opportunity you have, go in. You will not die. The highest is you won't get it. What if you get it? That is the question you should be asking yourself. What if I get it? If I hadn't canceled that fear, that feeling that I had in me that, oh, this is a corporate world, you have to go through these sources, you can't send personal messages regardless of whether they are professional to a manager's email address, you might not go through it. Anyway, right now I work and I got the best job as a student, because as I am right now, I can travel for 3 weeks and not work, and nobody will know, and nobody will call me to say, why are you not coming to work? Because of the kind of job I have. I work there as a casual staff. I pick my shifts. Nobody picks shift for me. So whenever I'm free from school, before this whole 24 hours stuff started for international students, I work as in I can work even 90 hours provided it's not affecting my studies. That was how lucky, and that was the story of how I got my job. There was no interview. I had a meeting with the person. She finally called me. She finally sent me a message. We booked the meeting day. I thought I was going to have interview. I kept reading, oh, tell yourself, where do you see yourself in 5 years? My dear, I'm not asking you not to read when it gets to your turn. I was actually prepared for the interview. That was what I meant. And then I got there and she was like, oh, I'm really sorry. She started saying it physically. The one she sent before was from the phone. I'm really sorry that this had to happen. Please, I'm so sorry. I know we had this conversation. So you're just so lucky. Your own case is different and you're probably going to start before your schoolmates. This is like an opportunity for you, and I'm going to send you your employment letter. This might take up to 1 to 7 days before you do this. My dear, my employment letter came in 2 hours after that meeting. This was something that was supposed to stay 1 to 7 days, and that was how I started my job. So now I'm encouraging you, whoever you are, in that phase where you don't even know what you're coming in to meet. It's actually really tough. But I want to encourage you. I don't know what you believe in. I don't know who you serve. I don't know the relationship you have with whoever you're serving. But if you are like me that believes in God, please hold God strong and ask God to go before you in that country that you're going to find yourself. Hold God strong. And I pray for you that the way that I'm living my life, you wouldn't even know that I just came into Canada. People don't believe that I just spent a year, few days back in Canada. People don't believe it because of how God gave me soft landing, how established I am. So I pray for you that you will not struggle to find a job. The essence of this video, do not miss it. Forget the story. The essence of this video is for you to know that you do not have to only go through the corporate means of getting a job. If anybody is kind enough to give you their manager's number, if you find any complimentary card with manager's email address, send emails. You just might be lucky, and you can also be one of those very few lucky people like myself. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know why videos keep getting so long. I hope I did not bore you. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe and share my channel with your families and friends. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.